Hey everyone, welcome back to the studio. I have been working on these 100 blocks in 2025 series, and I talk a lot about half square triangles. And in one of the videos, we did a very specific block that I told you could be turned in lots of ways to make a really beautiful quilt. So today I thought I would show you that quilt, which is behind me. And if you want to learn more about this quilt and using those half square triangles and simple blocks to make something really beautiful, why don't you stick around? Hey everybody, I am so glad you stuck around, and today we're going to learn a little bit about an oldie but a goodie, marble cake. Let's take a look at it. But first, let me show you the block from our 100 blocks in 2025. Here it is right here. I call it the jewel box block. I don't remember what we called it in the series, but you will have seen it in the series. Ours is just very simple. It is a 4-patch and a half square triangle, and this is the way we decided to turn it in the block that we did from the farmer's wife. But I turned it a little bit differently in the one behind me, and I just want to show you because in that video I said if you turn your blocks a different way, you can get a different result. So let's take a look at the two of them side by side. So first, let me give you an image of marble cake itself. So you can see here is the block right here. We did one turned in one direction and one turned in another direction. And basically what you get is the background provides this like little tunnel here. So if we turn the cream colored into the tunnel or the dark into the tunnel, we get a totally different look. So you can see here in the block we did for our 100 blocks in 2025, we have something a little closer to a bat wing. So we've kind of broken up that tunnel. So if we were to take this same light and dark background over here, we've broken up that tunnel by turning these two darker pieces in towards the center. So you could see that right there. And we get kind of like a little bat wing design. So on this design, we turned those dark pieces out and we made that tunnel type of effect down here in the cream. Then if we take the entire thing and turn it around again, which is this guy right here, instead of having our dark squares go down the middle, we're having our light squares go down the middle. And then we turn all of our dark pieces into the center, we get a dark tunnel. Now that's pretty cool. I call these two blocks the marble and the cake because I call it a marble cake pattern. Now I designed it this way because marble pistachio pound cake is my favorite cake, I think, in the world, aside from just a plain old nice chocolate cake. And when you swirl it into the marble, you kind of run your knife through the chocolate and it mixes in with the batter, and that's what creates those beautiful swirls. Well, little did I know that I would be able to create all this movement with just that simple block. And changing the way that the colors are turned gives me really two blocks that I can alternate. And then depending on how those blocks are directional and starting in the rows and the repeats, you get all this beautiful movement in the design. So this is just a great little showcase on what we can do with very, very simple blocks. This is a beautiful quilt. I chose to do it as basically a 2-color quilt. And a lot of times I will say 2-color and you'll look and you'll go, okay, I see 3 colors in this quilt because we have this gold border. That's true. Sometimes I add a little visual interest by throwing in a little different color in the border, just to help to frame what I've done in the center. And when we started out making patterns, you know, our tagline was make it simple, but make it with style. It doesn't get much simpler than this, and it doesn't get much more stylish, right? Very simplistic style. And so that's what we were going for. In this cream colored fabric, we have these little tiny gold flecks. So it has a movement of its own. It's kind of a marble background with this little tiny pattern. And it's just a hint of gold. It's not a shimmer or anything, but it's just a hint of a gold color. So we added this gold color into the border to sort of highlight some of that. And then we quilted it with gold thread. So, but it is essentially a 2-color quilt, just in browns and creams. And you can make this in any color combination that you wish. And of course, using fabric auditioning, you could also make it out of scraps. I would choose to make this entire quilt really very light and dark. So using our value, you can definitely do that. You can change it with tone. You can make it rainbowish. You can do all kinds of things with this particular block, and it's really only made up of 4 patches and half square triangles. So that's pretty interesting. I thought you'd like to take a look at it. Show you the pattern. So here's the pattern. It's still set up in our former style of pattern writing, and all the instructions for the yardage are on the back, and it's just very, very simple instructions inside that show you exactly how you want to put that quilt together. So if you're looking for it, it is available on our web at cabinquilters.com. It's available for print copy and download. I know this was a short one, but I really hope you enjoyed seeing marble cake. I designed this quilt a while ago. It kind of takes my breath away when I pull it out. It's one of my very favorites, and it's so simple and so easy. And so anybody can do this, especially a beginner. And I really hope that you're enjoying the 100 Blocks in 2025 series. There's a lot going on in that series. They're available all on our playlist, and I think you'll really enjoy seeing how all these little blocks go together. So we're going to put this video in our beginner series because I think that's part of the beginner series, and then we're going to move on to a few things that I did with a slightly maybe more difficult or more advanced block, but we're still staying with beginner type patterns, easy things to do. And I hope that you'll find everything you need and more on our website at cabinquilters.com, or just subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos here on the YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, happy quilting.